Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. My name is Toby McChesney, Assistant Dean of Graduate Programs, and it's my honor to introduce you today to our phenomenal Robinson College of Business programs, specifically in our health administration area. I have several folks here today that will give you a good overview of the programs, and after we speak, you can certainly ask any questions you have about our programs, faculty, or the admissions process. But first, let me tell you who's on the webinar today. So, sorry, actually the agenda first. We're going to go over a brief welcome, why Robinson, why Atlanta, Georgia. I realize that some of you are probably logging in from around the world, so welcome. We'll go over the Career Management Center. Obviously, a lot of students looking at graduate programs are also looking at changing careers or moving up in their field. We'll go in depth about the health administration programs, talk about admissions, cost, and some scholarship opportunities, and then open it up for the Q&A session. So first, we have several individuals that will be on the webinar today. First and foremost is our chair of the Health Administration Department, Dr. Andy Sumner. Of course, you've already met me now. And the three individuals in the picture on the right are the recruiting team that works with students from outside of Georgia, Felton Todd, Allison Jacobs, and Nicole Westfall. I realize that some of you may be calling in from inside Georgia, and that's fine as well, and they can definitely direct you to the appropriate people. So at a high level view, why Robinson, and some fun facts. We are a very large school. We've been around now for over 100 years at Georgia State University. We are located in downtown Atlanta, but we have several different locations that bring the graduate programs to our students. We have over 80,000 alums, of which half are in the Atlanta area. And what that means for you is helps you with networking. So when you apply for jobs, you see that Georgia State degree in the wall or that Robinson degree in the wall, it really can go a long way for you. We also are the fifth largest business school in the United States, according to AACSB, which is the accrediting body for business schools. We have the third largest health administration graduate program in the U.S., and that comprises of our MBA MHA program and our Master of Science in Health Administration. And our MBA MHA program is ranked with our Part-Time MBA program, ranked 25th in the United States by Bloomberg Business Week in the most recent rankings of 2014. So why Robinson? And my hope is that this webinar gives you a good taste of the various programs and you actually come visit our facilities and location, because we really are a phenomenal place. So we have right now 1,600 graduate students at the business school. Georgia State overall has 32,000 students. So again, going back to the networking, we really have a lot of alums that you can work with. We are very diverse. About 20% of our students are international of some origin. Some of you may be chiming in on the webinar today. We have a Proficient Career Management Center that I'll speak to in a little bit, that gives you significant career coaching to help you along the way. We in Atlanta have a lot of Fortune 500 companies that are based in Atlanta that really opens up the doors for you in the health sector. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And all of our students are very active in the community. So we have various groups such as the Graduate Business Association and other health-specific groups that really help you with community service and really connecting the dots and improving you as a human being. So why Atlanta, Georgia? So that picture on the top part, if you've never been to Georgia, that's a view of our downtown center of Atlanta. We are located right in the heart of Georgia. We are, if you're not familiar with where Georgia is, we are on the East Coast, where the state above Florida. A lot of people know where Florida is. We actually, in Atlanta, are the 9th largest city in the United States, and we have a very cost-effective rent for students that are looking to move to Atlanta. And again, Felton, Nicole, and Allison can help you put in touch with some various options for housing. We are definitely, Hartsfield Atlanta Airport is a huge transportation hub. It's very easy for you to fly directly from Asia, India, Europe, etc., directly to Atlanta. So that gives you hopefully cheap airfare. We don't get a lot of snow, so if you're looking for the snow, that's not Atlanta. We have fairly good weather year round. It gets a little hot in the summertime, but we have air conditioning, so no worries there. We are also, as I mentioned, with the Hartsfield Airport, we have significant transportation. We have uh, MARTA, which is our metro station or system that runs through the city that you can take to actually a campus for a class. We also have a streetcar that's going to run through our downtown campus. It actually opens up in about 2 months in the fall. We also, as I mentioned earlier, have a lot of Fortune 500 companies. There are 4 listed there, but of course there are a lot more. I would add on Delta as well with CNN, UPS, Coke, Home Depot. We have a lot of students working in those areas. We also have a very large hospital center here in Atlanta with Emory Healthcare, St. Joseph Hospital, Piedmont Healthcare, Wellstar Systems, and I'll let Dr. Sumner speak more about that too. So I briefly touched about the cost of living. So again, we are very cost effective. You can live on campus, and that picture on the bottom is actually our right next to our downtown campus. That's Centennial Park. It's a beautiful little fountain area. But you can see the pricing there. You can live on campus, and it is very affordable. If you live off campus, a lot of students tend to live in more of the Buckhead area or Peachtree Dunwoody area where you can take classes for the Master of Science in Health Administration program. But you can see some of the prices there, but definitely is affordable for students to move to Atlanta. All right, so my department, the Graduate Recruiting and Student Services Department, works with all of our grad students. We really work with you all on the admission side and then helping you get enrolled. And then we also advise you, make sure that you are in good academic standing to graduate, because I'm assuming that your goal is to graduate. And of course, we want you to graduate as well. So my team works hard on making sure that the transition from admissions to enrollment to graduating is very successful and smooth. We have 25 staff that work with our students. We work hard to make sure that any questions are answered. So by all means, feel free to ask questions and reach out to my team. We also work very closely with our Career Management Center, and that center really works with all of our graduate students. So if you are looking at the MBA, MHA, or our Master of Science in Health Administration, you actually will get an individual career coach. They'll sit down with you and help you with your resume. They'll do mock interviews. They'll take you to different companies, site visits, and really make sure that you get the tools you need to apply for those jobs or promotions. And again, going back to what I mentioned earlier, the power of networking is very powerful. So since we have over 80,000 alums from Robinson alone, you're in good company that you can really help open up those doors. We also have a lot of different panels and forums geared towards our general graduate students, but we also have specific ones aimed at health administration that I'll actually have Lizette, who's actually here as well, you can't see her, who works very closely with Dr. Sumner on the residency option, but also is an amazing staff member to help you all as well. And wrapping up for my part, just some quick tips here. Again, I mentioned that we have career coaching for all of our students. We have 2 big career expo centers each year in the fall and spring, where we bring it's actually over 100 employees, not 80, so I'll put the number right there to help recruit our students. We also the jobs are coming in right now, which is very fortunate. So we really have a lot of jobs that are being posted for our graduate students, either internship-wise to get you a foot in the door, or posting jobs for you to move up into your management or changing careers. We have a system called Robinson Career Connection where you can post your resumes and apply for those jobs directly. And of course, the alums I mentioned, you can join today if you would like. Go to our website. You can see it down there at the bottom, or go to our Facebook page or follow us on LinkedIn. We encourage even our prospective students to do that, so that way you can kind of get a sense of what kind of jobs and students we have for you to take advantage of. And now I'm going to pass it on to Dr. Sumner, who's going to give you a high-level view of the Master of Science in Health Administration program, our Masters of Business and Health Administration program, and the curriculum as well. Dr. Sumner.
Welcome, everyone. Georgia State University is recognized nationally for our business-focused health administration program. With the economic effect of the healthcare sector, which is now estimated to shortly be 25% of the gross domestic product, then healthcare becomes an issue of great interest to business schools. In the Atlanta area, we have several health systems, including, as was mentioned earlier, the Wellstar Health System, where we have a cohort of professional students there. First, I want to talk about the Master of Science in the previous one, in Health Administration. This is our single degree. This has the structure as shown on the slide here as a 14-month format, which completed in 4 semesters. There's 36 hours or 12 courses. We do this in a cohort, so that means everyone enters. And the next class is starting in January 2015. And we're going to do this at our Peachtree Dunwoody location just north of downtown. In terms of requirements, everyone should have an undergraduate, 4-year undergraduate degree from an accredited college or university. Work experience in healthcare basically is required or preferred. We'll talk to you about that. Let us know, of course, in your application. And the classes will meet on Mondays, alternate Mondays, and Wednesdays from 5:30 to 9:45. In terms of courses, there's 12 courses as listed here. And we'll go through all of these, but you'll see a number of them that focus on healthcare, number of ones that are more industry or systems focused, like the health economics and financing, leadership. There's a law course. We have health information systems. There's operations management and strategic planning. So they cover the realm of business aspects of healthcare. We also have our flagship program, which is the MBA MHA. Now, this is actually a double degree program, dual double degree. You actually get 2 diplomas. This is a more flexible format in that you can schedule both your MBA and health administration classes. It takes between 2 and 3 years to complete. We strongly encourage students to work, albeit maybe even in a part-time situation, at least 20 hours a week while completing this. And we have, after the conclusion of coursework, 3 months administrative residency. And actually, we encourage our students to look at nationally competitive residency that may have 1 year or even 2 years, sometimes called fellowship, involved at your option. And we'll talk to you about those. This is CAMI accredited, in the field as Commission on Accreditation of Health Management Education. And we're very proud of that accreditation. And we've been accredited for many, many years as one of the older programs. The kinds of students that would be interested in that, certainly you need to have your 4-year degree. And also it would be helpful if you have some experience of some type, preferably healthcare experience in this one, but we'll work with you and discuss that with you. That is offered, our MBMHA is offered on our downtown campus. And courses in our graduate school meet 1 evening per week. And we have our health administration courses sequenced back to back on a single day of the week, somewhat in a cohort style. The coursework that you take, the sequence of those, of course, depends on whether you are a full-time student or part-time students. But the students in this double degree average about 3 courses per semester. That would be the 2 HA classes back to back on a single day, and then schedule their appropriate MBA class at your convenience in location, which might be not only downtown, but in Buckhead or in Alpharetta, which some of our students do. So in this curriculum, of course, there are more hours because you get the double degree. And is shown at the bottom of that slide, a range from the minimum is 57 hours and could go up to 66 hours depending on whether you waive any courses and so forth. But students from all kinds of undergraduate degrees are can apply for this program, and you may take a foundation. You would take foundation courses that are listed up here. You may waive those based on whether you have a BBA from an AACSB accredited institution. There are cornerstone courses in the MBA, functional core courses, and then we have the same courses we mentioned earlier in a single health administration degree that apply here, and then the administrative residency we talked a bit about are required. So that constitutes the double degree curriculum. Lisette, this is Lisette Branscombe, who's a pharmacist and has an MBA, MHA, and worked for several years in the healthcare sector, and she'll talk some about the other aspects of our program.
So beyond the classroom and the curriculum, we really encourage students to become engaged in their professional development. And we have a chapter of the Future Healthcare Executives, which is associated with the American College of Healthcare Executives. And then locally, we have professional chapters, the GAHE, the Georgia Association of Healthcare Executives, HFMA, MGMA, and they have regular meetings throughout the year where students can attend, network, develop those relationships with professionals in the area. FHE is a student-run organization. We provide mentoring programs and executive speakers, philanthropy opportunities, and just networking opportunities for the students to get to know each other and develop outside the classroom.
Now we'll be going over the admissions process for the MHA program and other programs here within Robinson. Now, if you're wondering, what does it take to apply? For our programs, we'll take either GMAT or GRE test scores, official transcripts from any institution that you have attended, even abroad, work experience, and resume. For those students who have had work experience over their years, we would like to see you or like to see the matriculation that you have occurred during this time. Be very detailed as possible within your resume. And then letters of recommendation. With the letters of recommendation, you can submit up to 3 letters of recommendation where they can speak as far as your work ethic. If you're a student that does not have a work history, definitely using professors as far as for this will be beneficial. Now, if you're wondering if one thing has more weight than the other, no. Everything is weighed equally within the admissions process. So it's beneficial for you to submit everything what you see on this screen. And once we have all this information, it takes us roughly 2 to 3 weeks to render an admission decision. And we'll respond to you through the online application system that you're applied to. Now, these are just some of the averages for our GMAT, GRE, GPA, and also work experience for our programs. The average GMAT score currently right now is a 600, GRE 310. We'll look at 2 areas, the quantitative and also verbal. The GPA average is a 343, and the average work experience for our students for the MHA program and others roughly is around 3 to 4 years. Now, if you're an international student, there's additional components that you have to take into account. English proficiency. We take either TOEFL or IELTS test that is required, but there are some exceptions to this. If you're a U.S. naturalized citizen or have received a degree from a U.S. accredited institution, you can bypass the English proficiency test. Also, we require academic credentials if you have taken courses abroad. Here at Robinson, we use 3 evaluators, Joseph Silney, ECE, and also WES that we use for our programs. Now, for natural resources, you will have to submit this information to our International Student and Scholarship Services. Now, if you have additional questions or concerns about this, please visit the website of www.isss.gsu.edu for further questions as far as what credentials that you have to submit to our International Student Scholarship Services. Now, tuition and fees. For our MBA MHA program, now by credit hour, if you're a Georgia resident, the tuition cost is roughly $36,617. For a non-resident, still very affordable compared to other institutions, $87,586.
The estimated total base as far as for credit hours for these programs is 63 hours. Now for our MSHA program, which is our 14-month program, the tuition cost is $41,400. But keep in mind that will include everything that you'll need for this program, such as class materials, textbooks, iPads, parking, meals and snacks, professional development, and also this is services are offered by Robinson Career Management Center as well. Now there are some additional fees to keep in mind. Application fee is $50. Program deposit fee, or what I like to call your confirmation deposit, is $250 and is non-refundable. And then to health insurance coverage that may apply. For our deadlines for our programs, our spring semester that begins in January, our international deadline is August 1st, domestic September 15th, summer, which begins in June, September 1st, February for our domestic student, February 1, fall semester, which begins in August for our international student, March 15th, and domestic, May 1st. Now, if you're wondering, as far as would everything need to be submitted by these times, as far as what you see for the deadlines, no. This simply means we would like for your application to be submitted by these times. For additional components such as transcript, test scores, and things of that nature, we give you up to 30 to 45 days to submit supporting documentation. But keep in mind, for a quicker response, submit everything as soon as possible where we can get an admission decision back to you. Now, if you're thinking about financing your degree, now definitely corporate sponsorship is something to take into mind. So this information that you will receive at the end of this presentation, definitely take that to your HR representative to see if you can receive some type of tuition reimbursement. Also, our academic comment market for our GSU MBA MHA program is approved by 8 states. If you are looking to see if you can actually apply to this type of program, please visit the academic comment market to see if you are in one of the participating states for this program. Now, for scholarship opportunities, there are many different scholarships offered here within Robinson and also GSU as a whole. So to help you out, we actually included a link where you can visit some of these and review some of these different scholarships and grants at your leisure. And then you have your traditional ways as far as educational loans. Apply as far as the FAFSA.edu.gov and also a Grad Plus loan. Grad Plus loan does a soft inquiry into your credit history, and if you are approved, you will be contacted by one of our financial aid representatives here within Robinson. And then you have private loans. If you are looking into private loans, I would suggest definitely doing an educational loan, what gives you a lower interest rate outside of the other loans that are provided. And then last, we have what we call graduate research assistant positions, or GRA positions. GRA positions can sometimes provide full and partial tuition waivers and stipends for students. Also, there are what we call merit GRA positions, where we look into your GMAT score of 620 or higher that will help as far as for tuition waivers. Now, this brings us to the end of our presentation of the Master of Science in Health Administration and MBA/MHA program. Now we're going to open up to you as the students to ask any questions that you have for our panelists here today. Thank you again for attending the J. Mack Robinson College of Business here at Georgia State University webinar.